When you used to go to your hospital appointments, did your family used to come with you? What was your preference there?
So right from the very start, I think there's the natural instinct that you want to protect the people you love. So I did the majority of the appointments by myself. I think Catherine came with me to one, but it was I'm a very sort of self-contained person. So I wanted to deal with that firstly myself. I think that was so come to terms with it myself, and then think how I deal with my friends and family. So I remember on the day I was told, ringing Catherine, and actually it was a difficult conversation, but it wasn't hard to have. And she was brilliant, and actually she rang my parents and told them, because for me that was just going to be the next hurdle, and at that stage was perhaps going to be one too difficult. But I was determined that I'd tell my daughter. So in that evening I got home and told her, but I didn't hide the fact what was wrong, and it was made slightly difficult. Her best friend had just lost her dad through lung cancer, so her experience of cancer was that it was terminal, but shared with her the facts as I knew them, and I think that's relayed what the doctors had told me, which wasn't the harsh realities of what the operation was going to be, but this is what you've got, this is what the prognosis is, this is how we're going to deal with it, and she coped brilliantly.
So in the end you told them the full story and didn't hold much back?
Over time I told them the full story.
Yeah.
So I think it was, just in the same way I was told the story incrementally as to what was going to happen, I relayed that with a time delay to my family. So when I'd come to terms with it, I could then tell them. Interesting.
Did it help you, in a sense, to relay your story to others, particularly the family?
Yes, it did. I mean, with hindsight, what would I have done differently? I would have had Catherine with me at all the appointments, because actually we're a team going through it. So in some ways I was quite selfish, and this is the way I want to deal with it, and I'll deal with it myself first. But actually it's about recognising that you need to get your family as much, because they're the people who've got to manage you through this process.
Absolutely.
And at times you can't do anything, you're wholly reliant on them. So I was a bit probably self-indulgent.
So it makes sense to have them on board as much as possible, really.
Yeah. Because if you keep them at arm's length, I think that's the instinctive thing to do, to protect. But actually they're going to find out in the end. So let them go through the same journey as you.
How did you find they handled things emotionally themselves?
I think brilliantly. You see another side to people when they're faced with a crisis, and so your instinct is, I don't want to tell them because they won't be able to cope, but actually everybody copes in their own way. And so whilst I might react in one way and think somebody's reacting in a different way, that's their way of dealing with it. So you've just got to let people deal with it in their own way.
Have you seen a transition, a change in them with time as the years have gone by since your original diagnosis?
I don't know. So I think it's as equally at the back of their mind as it is mine. But it almost becomes a bit where you've moved on and you don't have those conversations, because you don't need to have those conversations. So, when you come up to an appointment, that's a focus, and that's why I'm keen that let's actually get discharged, and then it takes that pressure away. So every 6 months or every year, you've got to actually have that focus around going to a clinic and being examined. So if you can take that away, it just takes the pressure off.